get back in the car and adjust the rearview mirror. Remember, your rearview mirror is a key to where you came from, but it's not the key to where you're going. Open the passenger door. You do not have to do dream driving alone, but make sure whoever you're bringing along with you is not a dream killer and is aligned with your vision. Enjoy this. You'll get more of these tips from today's episode and learn how you can get your dreams back on track when you run out of gas. This week's episode of Dreams and Drive is brought to you by Charmin. Charmin has long-lasting mega rolls that aim to give you a better bathroom experience. Those who use Charmin really enjoy the go. Hey, Dream Drivers. Welcome to episode 265 of the Dreams and Drive podcast. I am excited to have this solo episode today. It's one that I think a lot of people can probably relate to. And I think it's something that we need to talk about, what to do when you run out of gas. Now, dream driving is not always going to be easy. You're not always going to feel like you want to put your foot to the pedal. But there are times when you do got to take your foot off the gas. And here are 10 steps that I want to take you through that will really help you as you navigate this part of the journey. But before we get into the episode, guys, thank you all for being so patient with me. I just celebrated my first Mother's Day. As you know, these past 7 months of being a mother have definitely been hard, challenging, but so rewarding. So rewarding. And I'm learning so much about myself. I'm learning so much about my son. And I'm also learning so much about the world because I think motherhood opens up a different perspective in you and you start to look at things differently. So they're definitely loved having Mother's Day and being really able to celebrate it with him outside the womb this year. Also, next week, guys, I have some exciting news for you. And we're also going to kick off a really fun portion of Dreams and Drive. We're going to be transitioning into different types of episodes next week and onwards. So stay tuned for that and stay tuned for my big news that I'm going to share with you all next week. As always, guys, if you enjoy this episode, please make sure you're sharing it with a friend. We are Dreams and Drive across the board, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So make sure you're screenshotting this, sharing it, using the hashtag Dreams and Drive, and mentioning us when sharing as well. If you want to get our weekly newsletter, The Keys, you can sign up by going to dreamsanddrive.com/join. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join. All right, so let's get into these 10 tips. What to do when you run out of gas, right? So I think that before we get into that, it's all right if you're going to feel unmotivated. It's all right if at times you feel discouraged. It's all right because life happens and it's okay to feel this way. There's going to be times when you want to give up. There's going to be times when it's not easy. But this framework, I think it's a fun framework that you'll remember. And I think it's something that we all need to kind of do at least once, twice, who knows, along our journey, right? So let's get into this. Number one, right? What to do when you run out of gas. Number one, get off the road, right? If you are out of gas, there is no reason why you should still be dream driving. There's no reason why you should be pushing yourself because you know what? Accidents happen, right? When a car is stalled in the middle of a highway, you are setting yourself up for an accident and you're also setting others around you up for failure as well, right? So it's very important to realize when dream driving is leading you nowhere, choose your exit, choose a exit. Sometimes you don't have to be very specific, but you just have to know that you have to get off the road. You have to pause. You need to take a second, take a minute for yourself. And be all right with leaving. That's the number one key there. Be all right with knowing that it is just momentarily. It's something temporary. It's not going to be forever, but get off the road, guys. If you have no gas, get off the road. Remember that. Number one, it's not forever. So number two, you might need to rid yourself of some luggage as you are veering off the road, right? You realize you got no gas. You got to figure out, is there something that's weighing you down? Is there something that can be physically, that can be mentally, spiritually, something, right? Sometimes we are carrying around so many burdens, so much baggage, right? You may not even realize that that's causing your gas to go down as well. So I would say as you are getting off, you're making your exit, figure out what can you unload? What do you not have to bring with you as you go to the gas station, as you are getting off and figuring out what's next in your journey? That's a very, very important step that I think a lot of us really need to focus in on and really take the time to think about, right? So number 3, refuel, gas up, right? That's really important. If you are out of gas, you need to figure out what can you do to really renew your energy. You're going to be worn out. You may be feeling physically tired, emotionally tired. Think about ways that you can refuel. That can be resting. That can be relaxation. That can be bringing things into your life that will bring you energy and peace. Return to your inner child. Like I always ask our guests at the beginning of every episode, what inspired you as a child? Maybe do some of those things. For me, I used to love reading. I used to love drawing. I used to love designing. So maybe take a good book up and read. For me, it would be maybe taking some time to get out into nature, going for a walk. A lot of us are trying to run on empty, and you can't go anywhere running on empty. You need to fill yourself back up. Surround yourself with people that will pour into you and not drain you. Surround yourself with things that will really help get your energy tank on full and not on E. Because when we run out of gas, the biggest thing for a lot of us is that we are trying to do too much with not enough in us, right? So that's very, very important. Number 4, service your car, right? A lot of us are trying to run on full when we have an empty tank in our actual physical vessels. The thing that we are trying to move forward with and in is not 100% working. So that can really be something tangible, or that can also be something intangible. For a lot of us, it could be the thing that we are working on is not taking us to where we need to go because we need to bring in a professional, right? A mechanic, aka a therapist, a doctor, a trainer, a consultant. If you're working on your business, and your business may be the car here, right? Maybe you need to bring in someone who has specialty in your field. That can be a coach, a consultant, an expert, an accountant. Sometimes when we're running out of gas, it's because there's something wrong with what we are driving, and we need to spend some time on really figuring out what can we do to fix it? What can we do to service our car? What can we do to service our dream? That's so important along the dream driving journey. All right, so the number 5, right? After you figure out what you need to do to service your car, service your dream, service what it is that you're driving, the next thing is you need to now reset your GPS, reset your plan. What's the vision now? You ran out of gas. You're taking the steps. What do you have to do in order to get motivated again? What do you have to do to get back on track? That GPS is so important, right? A lot of times we think that there's only one way to get to a destination, but if you were to plug in a destination or address in your phone, you'll see there are often multiple ways. There's ways without tolls, ways that are avoiding certain areas. So figure out what's your new plan now. And hopefully it is a new plan. Don't go back to the same road that you just came off of sometimes. Sometimes you need to tweak little things along the journey, along the GPS. Take some time to really think about what is it that you want to do? Where is it that you want to go? And what's going to be the plan now? Reprogram your mind for a new journey. I think that's really important for a lot of us when we're running out of gas. We're trying to take the same route. We're trying to go along this journey that just hasn't been working for us. Sometimes you got to switch things up, take a different route, take a different road, figure out what you want to avoid this time, figure out what you want to see along the way. And that's going to help you so much when you get back on the road, right? So number 5 is reset the GPS. Now, number 6 is very important too. I don't know about you guys, but I'm somebody who always loves snacks when I'm in the car, when I'm dream driving. You need to restock your toolkit. If you are dream driving and you feel like you're running out of gas, you may not have all the tools that you need. That can be mental, that can be physical, that can be actual dream driving tools. That may be things that you literally need to get where you're going. Take some time to restock your toolkit. Make sure everything that you have is working properly. Take note of things that you don't need anymore, things that need to be upgraded, things that needed to be tweaked. That's going to help you so much. A lot of times when we're dream driving, we don't realize that the keys to success that we need we don't have at the moment. So if you realize you need communication, if you realize you need faith, if you need something tangible, you need a notebook, take some time to realize what was missing in your toolkit and what you need to add back in. And that's going to help you when you get back on the road. Hey, Dream Drivers, this episode of Dreams and Drive is brought to you by Charmin. Those who use Charmin really enjoy the go. So as you guys know, Charmin has a variety of products to satisfy your to-go needs. So what are we talking about? Our bathroom experience. That's one thing that we Dream Drivers all have in common. All of us have the need to go. So why not enjoy the go with Charmin? Softness matters at home and in the bathroom. And Charmin has a variety of products that makes your to-go experience that much better. There's Charmin Ultra Soft, which has irresistible cushiony softness. Charmin Ultra Strong for superior strength and absorbency, or you can try Charmin Flushable Wipes and get the freshest clean Charmin has. And don't forget Charmin's long-lasting Mega Rolls. Charmin aims to give you a better bathroom experience. At Charmin, they believe that won't happen if you finish it all off with the wrong toilet paper, which is why they make a toilet paper that's just right for everybody. So try Charmin and enjoy a better bathroom experience. All right, let's get back to the episode. All right, so number 7, open the passenger door. I love this one because I think it's something that we need to talk more about. Dream driving does not have to be something that's done alone. And I think for a lot of us, a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, we're trying to do everything ourselves. We're trying to be the CEO, the accountant, the fitness motivator. We're trying to play all these roles and we really want to be the dream driver, the visionary, whatever that role is that you're doing. So think about why we get stuck. I think for a lot of us, this is where a lot of people get stuck. They're trying to do too much. If you're a driver, you can't be a passenger. You can't be the person in the backseat. You can't be taking on all these roles. Open up the dream to allow other people in. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you are not bringing in dream killers. So whoever you're opening up your passenger door to, make sure that's somebody who is aligned with the dream and who understands where you are trying to go and is not going to say, hey, you should be doing this or you should be doing that. They're there to help you drive the dream forward. A lot of people have really said to me, Rana, that's the hardest part, building a team. A lot of our dream drivers, our guests on the show have said that team building is probably the hardest thing that they've had to do. It's expensive. It can be time consuming. It can take a lot of trial and error. But once you get the right team, your whole dream driving journey could be a lot smoother. So if you're at the point where you feel like you keep running out of gas because you're driving alone, take some time to invest in what opening up the passenger door can do for you and the dream. All right, now you got to get back on the road. You got to get your mind into the state that the goal is always to get back into drive. We're not back into drive yet, but you got to tell yourself, all right, I'm going back. I'm getting back out there, because you could take all these steps and never reprogram your mind to saying, all right, we're going back onto the entry route to this freeway, this dream driving freeway. This is an important step, because I think the hardest part after realizing you run out of gas is now realizing it's time to hit the road again. And you want to make sure that you don't stay off the road for too long, because what can happen is sometimes the longer you stay off, the harder it is to get back on. So if you keep telling yourself, I'm going to get back on the road, I'm going to get back on the road, that's a very important part of the process, because you're going back on the road with a game plan and how it's going to work for you, and telling yourself you will succeed. A lot of that reprogramming of the mind is mental, but it's a critical step, very critical step. All right, guys. So now the next step is this. You got to actually get back into the car. And the key thing, readjust your rearview mirror. Getting back into the car is now you're mentally committed, but now you're physically committed, right? You are telling yourself, I'm in this to win this. I'm refueling. I'm refueled. This dream is happening again. You're getting in the car. You're committing to it. And adjusting the rear view mirror really means this. You have to say to yourself, how are you going to view where you just left? How are you going to view the past, everything that you've been through to get to this point? Are you going to use that as motivation? Or are you going to look back at where you came from and said, I shouldn't even do anything? And I hope if you're listening to this right now, you're somebody who's trying to stay motivated, who wants to get back on track. And the biggest thing that you have to tell yourself is where you came from is not where you're going. You have the rearview mirror as a depiction, as a picture of where you came from and what's behind you, but where you're going is through that front windshield, right? Where you're going is everything that has not yet come about. So you can see your rearview mirror. You need it. You need to have that sense of your past and what you've been through and everything, but don't take the past with you forward. Use the past to inform where you're going. And I've added that in here because I think for a lot of us, like for example, me as a new mom, I could be really hard on myself about everything that I didn't do this past 7 months after having my son. I could be really hard on myself and say, I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to have done that. Oh, I'm such a bad person because I haven't done this. Oh, I'm a loser for not having done that in the past. No, I can look back and say, all right, those are all things that I went through, but that doesn't have to inform where I want to go now because my mind is forward. That rearview mirror is there to be a key to the past, but it's really the fuel to where I'm going. So I hope that helps a lot of you guys. And then, of course, as you know, number 10 is what? Drive. You got to put that car. We really broke down these last steps of telling yourself you're getting back on the road, physically getting into the car, adjusting the rearview mirror. But now 10 is putting that car. So you were in park. You got to put it from park, reverse, neutral, and then back into drive and exit, get back onto your dreams. I want you all to feel motivated. I am a living example now. Pregnancy derailed me for a little bit, not in a bad way, but it was a new challenge for me. And I'm really slowly but surely trying to get back to myself, get back to the dream. I have some great news to share with you guys. So hopefully these 10 steps are something that you can remind yourself of, that you can take with you, that you can really think about how this plays out along your own dream driving journey, because it's something that we all can relate to. So let's go back through these steps, right? Number 1, 10 things to do when you run out of gas, 10 ways to get motivated, 10 ways to get back on track. Number 1, get off the road. You got to get off the road. Number 2, rid yourself of the unnecessary luggage. Number 3, refuel, gas up. Number 4, service your car. Number 5, reset the GPS, create that plan, figure out what the new plan is. Number 6, restock your toolkit. You can't hit the road without having a good toolkit. So make sure that you are physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially restocking yourself of everything you need to have a successful dream driving journey. Number 7, open the passenger door. You do not have to do dream driving alone, but make sure whoever you're bringing along with you is not a dream killer and is aligned with your vision. Number 8, get back on the road. Tell yourself that you're going to get back on the road. Figure it out. Reprogram your mind. Reprogram your mind before you get to this step, which is number 9. Get back in the car and adjust the rearview mirror. Remember, your rearview mirror is a key to where you came from, but it's not the key to where you're going. And lastly, number 10, put that car in drive, baby. All right. Take it from park to drive. Take it from park, reverse, neutral, drive, and know that you are a dream driver, and know that you don't have to remain stuck. Running out of gas, we all go through it. But you gotta really commit to knowing that it's not going to be something that's going to last forever if you make sure that it doesn't become something that lasts forever. As dream drivers, that's really the most critical thing. So here we have it. We have 10 tips here for you what to do when you run out of gas. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, the best thing you can do is screenshot this, share it to a friend, send the link, post it on your Instagram story, screenshot us. Wherever you're listening, please share it with a friend. We're Dreams and Drive across the board on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If this is your first time listening and you enjoyed this episode, you know what you can do? You can also make sure that you are subscribed, right? So wherever you're listening, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of the podcast apps, hit subscribe. so that you get notifications every time we have a new episode. If you want to get on our weekly newsletter, The Keys, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join. If you want to support the show, there are multiple ways that you can do so. You can get Dreams and Drive merchandise. We have t-shirts and crew neck sweatshirts available. Just go to dreamsanddrive.com/shop. Or if you want to donate to the show or be part of our Patreon community, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/donate. As I said earlier, I have some exciting news to share with you next week. And then we're going to go into about a 4-week round of new types of episodes that are going to be hitting on a topic. I don't want to say what the topic is, because I think then that will kind of ruin the surprise a little bit. So next week, we're in for a new type of dream driving journey. And I think it's going to be something that a lot of us can relate to now, especially living in a pandemic, post-pandemic, trying to get lives back to normal and trying to figure out what's next, right? As always, keep dreaming, keep driving. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll chat again in episode 266. Bye, guys.